Welcome everyone to the FIDE Online Arena. It's your host Colin Heim, my personal games to share with you guys. Virgin Islands Chess, everyone at home and abroad. How's everybody doing? Happy holiday season. Okay, without too much talk and other things, guys, let's just get right into this nice, beautiful game here against my arch rival that I've, had an experience with here from Spain. And I think he's beaten me now with white pieces. He has white pieces in this game again. I think he's beaten me probably like 7 times. Anyway, this is maybe the only or second or third win that I've had against him, and I wanted to show it because he fancies himself a very smart chess player, a very sharp player, and let's see what I had here in this Sicilian to prove otherwise, that I was a little sharper. Okay, so knight 3, guys, d4, right, we see this so much. If you guys look at my playlist, there's so many of my personal games here like this, knight into d4, e5, going for the anti-Borgovian Sveshnikov. We've seen this in Queen's Gambit. If you guys watch the show on Netflix, they also played this, by the way. Very old line here in the old Sicilian. Knight to d6 check, bishop captures, queen captures, and queen to e7. Okay, so the line goes like this now, guys, as we've seen. Queen into e7, knight g into e7, and let's just stop here. Okay, so in this position, my opponent played queen to c, excuse me, guys, not queen, bishop to c4. Queens are off the board, that's what I meant. And now b5 is coming. Okay, so b5 is good. So baby bishop to c4 is good, eyeing the f7 pawn, right? In this virtual analysis, guys, maybe you can take a look at that. Maybe he just wants to keep his eye on that f7 pawn. Okay, so instead we see bishop dropping back to b3, now looking like maybe Bobby Fischer's bishop. a3 after a5, and now a4. Bishop a2, now the bishop is tussled away in a corner. But now here comes the horse, guys. Ring! Knight to d4, and what that does is, guys, it now puts a lot of pressure on c2, and that rook on a1 is now trapped as the bishop on a2 does not allow the rook to escape in this position. So we see king to d1 played by my opponent. So my opponent now loses his castling rights here, guys. So let's continue, boys and girls. Bishop to b7 now, attacking the center. f3, rook to c8. c3 now, attacking the horse. Guys, stop here and find the best move to put that knight. Where is the knight going in this position? Where's the best place to put the knight? Aha, if you guys found that b3 square that's open, congratulations, that's actually what's best. After bishop captures and pawn captures, yes, it looks like this pawn here is going to get gobbled up, yes, by that d2 knight. Is fine. Black actually has positional initiative after knight to g6, which is the best move in the position, guys. Knight captures on b3, knight into h4, and then here comes the attack. Rook to g1 now, defending g2 pawn, and d5. Okay, d5 now fighting for the center, guys. We see that black has 2 center pawns here, or did have 2 center pawns. That's why white captured in the middle of the board. And now after bishop captures on d5, and knight to d2, short castles. Okay, and I would much rather play with black in this position because there's just going to be some good formulas here, some really good creation. Okay, so I was very pleased with my position here against my Spanish arch rival, my nemesis. Really fancies himself a chess player, guys. He's beaten me several times, but I've always had chances. Won 2 games. Yes, he has about 6 or 7 games on me in the FIDE Online Arena. All with white pieces, by the way. As I mentioned to you guys, if you looked into my other videos, I get the black pieces almost all the time. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. Battery's running a little low here. Anyways, okay, so knight to e4 was played. You guys spotted knight to e4, that's a good move. And bishop into b3. Bishop into b3 check is good. Now it forces the king to move again. King goes to e1, that's the best square for the king. And now f5, guys, yes, push f5. f5 because now this horse in the middle of the board needs to go somewhere, of course. Knight to d2 now, attacking the b3 bishop. Black bishop drops back to d5, and king to f2. Okay, so a very serious position for my opponent. Now, guys, there's 2 center pawns here, kingside pawns. We got the majority 4-2 on the king side. Looks like the queen side for white is probably its only chance at this point. Let's look into it a little further now. e4 played by black, and g3 now. Knight is hopping over to f6. Excuse me, f3, knight into f3. That's the f3 square, guys. f6 is a dark square, f3 is a light square. Okay, so e into f, and bishop into f4. Okay, bishop into f4 was a questionable move. Now that gives me a chance to get my better rooks involved in the game. My opponent swings his rook from a1 over to e1, and now not capturing, guys. Finding the best move in the position. If you guys found h6, yes, that's best. That's a very classy move. h6 does a great job. Later you can push g5 now, putting more pressure on the f4 bishop. Okay, so my opponent lifts his rook now to a5, and in the game, guys, we saw in this rapid 10 plus 10 second increment, now capturing, bishop captures, and now this is what I wanted, guys. Rook to e8, and now having to defend, swinging the rook over to e8. Now guys, find the best move for black in this position. It's very exciting. Can you guys find the best move for black now? I have my opponent in my realm now. Yeah, g5 was fine. g5 is perfect now because we're getting ready to push that kingside majority of those pawns. We're double pawns on the f-file, but it's still 4-2 on the kingside. So here we go, h4 guys, and not capturing, just pushing now g4. So this is what it's all about, guys. Good aggressive chess. So now rook to e3 was played, lifting the rook. What else to be played in this position now? And now comes the star move to create a great center blockade. My opponent dropped his bishop back to f4 again in this position, as I remember, without looking at the notation. Now king to g7. Now just get that king into the game. Rook to e1. Rook swings over to d8. King to e3. And now, guys, find the check square. Find the beautiful move here for black. Lift up that rook and put it on d3 check. Beautiful. King goes back to f2. Now king to g6. Right. Rook c1, h5, and c4. Okay, guys. So if you found b into c, that's correct. And after rook captures, now not capturing the a3 pawn. But maybe just going after the b pawn and now getting ready to throw a check after c2. My opponent drops his bishop back, and now guys, find the best move for black. Okay, I kind of played it a little quickly, but find the best move. Yes, it's rook to d3. And now we're going for d1 squares, so my opponent pushes a1 and now gives me rook to d1, and this is completely winning in this position, guys. If you could set this up over the board at home, if you have a chessboard, guys, my kids here in the Virgin Islands or anyone else playing, coaches or otherwise, set this over the board and find out how to win this endgame for black. Okay, so set this up now. I encourage you guys to do it and pause the video if you want a solution. Okay, so you pause the video. Now we're still going. Here's the solution, guys. Continue. a5 now. My opponent wants a queen. Team white wants a queen. No, rook to h1. Beautiful. You guys found rook to h1. That's correct. And after a6, still not giving up. My opponent wants a queen. My opponent wants a checkmate in this position. Okay, guys. Sorry for that again, guys. Okay, so rook h2 check, king goes to e3, and now f2, guys, the killer move. Look how my pawn is queening first, by the way. One square away, and my opponent still has two squares. Okay, so king to e2, and now, guys, find the winning move for black in this position. Can you guys spot the tactic? It's a tactic. You actually have to give up a minor piece to queen. You guys are chess players out there. You play bishop to d3 check, and after king captures queen. Yes. f1 equals queen, check. Also coming with a check to the white king. So we can really stop here, but we're going to show now how to win this endgame. And how I defeated my arch nemesis here with white pieces. Yes, he had the advantage of moving first, but I showed I was a little sharper. Actually, probably a lot sharper in this game. So, okay, giving up the rook now. Black is just +6 now. +7. b4. And checking the king. Now just how you mate, guys, is you bring your king over now. Right, for my beginners and my intermediates, just bring the king over. That's how you mate. And guys, as long as my king stays on these light squares, right, because the bishop's on a dark square, all he has left is a dark squared bishop. It can't go to any other color. Just go to white squares, right, or light squares. King moves over. King a6. King c6. Now just checking me, but of course capturing with the queen. Now, guys, find the mating square. And I dazzled my opponent. Obviously, my opponent wanted to get checkmated and see this for himself, as he probably couldn't believe it. My arch nemesis, guys, from Spain. Many more games to come in the future, guys. That's queen b7, check and mate. Feel free to rewind the video, pause it, do what you have to do. Listen to the times where I told you guys to set up boards and find out win the end games for yourself. It's a very, very challenging opponent, very tough game. Went for the Sicilian and just did a little better after bishop to c4. Okay, guys, take care. Bye-bye for now. See everyone on the other side, and good luck with your chess online and over the board.